those and you win light. It's
Yes,
contrast. Huh?
it's a balance.
We are live.
Yes.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I'm Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach. I am the president, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group and the Henderson Insurance and Henderson Realty.
You're not hot.
Nah, I'm not hot. It's pretty cool. Matter of fact, it's cool that they see I'm wearing my
Yeah, on the whole ensemble.
a whole little
Okay, Henderson Realty. You were saying. Sorry to interrupt.
yeah.
Sorry,
I'm
not sorry.
used to it. All my children do that. So yes, I'm excited about today because today's show we're going to talk about something that I really like, and it's called givers. The more you give, the more you receive, and why it's so important of giving and the principles of giving. And before we talk about that, my beautiful, wonderful, talented daughter, my succession plan when I'm 100 years old.
You know, I had dinner with someone. I met someone in
Hyacinth Henderson.
Thank you, Father, for the
Hyacinth
introduction.
Renee Henderson. Right.
What?
I like that R. I should, I started to name you when you was born Hyacinth Robert Henderson, but I said, okay, that was kind of like egoish.
All right.
But I just put the R in there.
Thank God my mom used her voice.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
she said no.
Yeah.
So, speaking about you being here till you're 100 years young, It's so interesting. We went to dinner. I went to dinner Friday, and one of the gentlemen that was there, his dad started a real estate development and construction company. Not construction. Let me take construction out. Ooh, a real estate company.
Okay, but that's so bad. Taking construction out. That's not bad.
It's not, because I was merging. I was kind of making stuff up.
Yeah, okay.
Like blending two things. But big real estate firm. Anyway, he said that his dad is not in the business anymore. His dad don't even want to hear about the business.
Wow.
I know. And so I said to him, we were talking. It's like, I said, my dad still works there. I said, my dad says he's going to be there till he's 100. Right. He said, yeah, my dad said the same thing too. Oh. And then now his dad had just a change. And now he's like, oh, how's the business? And like 3 seconds in, his dad just trails off. He doesn't.
Well, it depends on how the people change. People are like, oh my God. But
you're going to change.
I love people. I'm going to change with them. But I don't know. But I like what I do because it's like I said, serving, it's giving. And I get a kick out of, saying a slam dunk, so to speak, when we create a financial plan or we help somebody. And a lot of people don't know a lot of things that we do know.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
What?
When you're 80, coming to your concert as a concert pianist.
Oh, yes.
Because I know that you've been working on piano for so long, so intently. And I can just see that at 80, 85, 82. Yes. Like you're just, you don't have time for this. You ain't have time. You're going to be playing Mozart and Beethoven.
No, she's trying to boot me out of here, right? She's trying to get me out of here.
Not right now. I like you around right now.
I'm 65 right now. I'm
65, great. 75.
I was playing the piano early this morning, man. Playing Greensleeve,
Oh, wow. Yeah. I look at mine every day and
you just letting that piano go to waste.
No, but we keep it polished. But anyway, let
me tell you something. That is a rank. I'm telling you, that is a rank for a Black person to have a piano in their house and can't play it.
Maybe in 2024, I will resume piano lessons.
Yes, you really should.
I really should.
I want my grandson to resume it. I want my granddaughter to resume playing the piano. Because let me tell you something. For a Black person to have a piano in their living room, in their home,
gorgeous.
And it is a beautiful grand piano, okay? For you to have that, no one in there plays it. That's like having an expensive purse with no money in there.
You think so?
Yes. It's like walking around with an expensive purse and you don't have $5. You don't have credit cards. You're broke, but you have that purse.
Okay.
So I want you to be able to, when someone look at that piano, I want you to be able to go there and just like, so I can do it in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little.
Yeah. Y'all heard me. Next time y'all talk to high school, are you doing the piano lessons? Are you doing it? No, what Daddy said.
In 2024, ask me that. Don't ask me that in 2023. Let's get through the end of this year.
We got less than 30 days,
I know. I did sign up for ballet in 2024.
Excuse me? Oh, now that blew me away. Did you say ballet, my dear?
Did.
I see you. How you gonna stand on your toes?
My stress.
You were so non-athletic, and you and Jasmine has been so unathletic. Out of 3 girls and 2 boys, the 2 girls, you and Jasmine, have been so unathletic.
Well, I'm starting ballet in January.
And you ballet? How you gonna stand on your toes?
They don't teach me.
You used to fall down the steps all the time.
You don't teach me.
All the stairs you would fall down. Who gonna teach you?
The ballet instructor.
Oh, you're doing that just so you can sweat. I know you're gonna be sweating and shaking. That's a form of exercising. All right, come on. Let's talk about.
Let's get
show.
back on track. I am Hyacinth Henderson, the co-CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. The Henderson Financial Group is a full-service financial planning and investment advisory firm. We are based in sunny South Florida, and we have clients all over the world. I have been here for 22 years. I absolutely love what I do. I love serving people. I love clients. I just like it.
Yes,
it just feels good
because because it's never boring. You have interesting people with different stories, different situations, different cases.
Yes,
they come from all different backgrounds, and we learn a lot. We learn different personalities and different things, and it's really nice, and we really like that.
People.
And we help people. We
that's
help
the satisfying part to me.
Yeah, we really show them how to do things a different way, and that's what we mainly do. We're not just boring financial planners, get a mutual fund, get this, get that. Save money for retirement. You're gonna get old and you're gonna be shorter. You're gonna be in a smaller tax bracket. We don't believe in that. Listen, when we set up a financial plan for you and a strategy, we're not saying when you get older and you retire, you're gonna be poor in a lower tax bracket. No. We're saying when you finish working, you should have more money because that's why you finish working and you're retiring, and you have all this residual passive income coming in, and you're making a whole lot of money, and all of it's not taxed.
So much money you don't even know what to do with it.
Right, and you can pass it on to your loved ones, and you're not paying the highest in taxes, that sort of thing. That's the whole chess strategy that we use at the Henderson Financial Group. Not just saying retired and you got to do what everybody else do. We don't like doing what everybody else do. We like being different. So if you want something different, call 305-825-1444. Say it again.
305-825-1444.
If you know deep down inside, it's just something different. You don't want to talk to people at the bank, talk to people at them firms or whatever, but the same old yak, yang. That ain't it. It's time for you to call the Henderson Financial Group so we can show you something different and tailor it to you. We'll break it down to you like a 6-year-old. We speak your language and we explain it to you. We won't talk over your head. But I promise you, you call
305-825-1444.
We have something just tailor-made for you. Okay, so today's topic we're talking about, and I was thinking about, how blessed we are in terms of, and I noticed, Heisey, the more we serve clients, the more we give and help people, the more we receive. Now let's talk about that whole principle, because a lot of people think that you have to give money all the time, but you don't. What are other ways in order to fulfill that same principle in terms of giving? Give us some examples so that people can pick this up, what we're putting down, darling.
So let me just say that we are in alignment. We are on the same frequency today when you came into my office and said, what do you think about this topic? Because today, when I was doing my car line, I do car line at my son's school, and I'm out there sweating.
Car line. She says, car line, y'all. What she's saying is directing the school traffic in the morning because the people don't know when to go or when to turn.
When to get out the car, get out, wakey, go, right? So as I'm in the, come on, let's go.
So
wonderful
long,
Wednesday,
drop the kids off, right?
Blah, 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 right? A child gets out, he hands me a card, and I look at the dad smiling. I'm like, oh my God, for me, thank you. And so after car line is over, I open the card and it says thank you, and there's 2 Amazon gift cards in there. And the first thing I said is, oh, I know these people are blessed because they understand that when you give to others, you continue to be blessed. That's the first thing I literally said as I looked at the card. Then the second thing I said was, I'm trying to kick my Amazon addiction. And, I don't know if this is helping or hurting, or if this is God saying, girl, we're going to give you Amazon gift cards, so don't delete Amazon off of your phone. Like, I don't know. But it's interesting because as soon as I saw it, and they don't know my name, I don't know their name. They just appreciate the way that I move the traffic along. So they blessed me with 2 Amazon gift cards.
Oh, so that's why you said when I came in and I said, hey, today's show, I got an idea. I want to talk about giver's gain and giving and how important it is and you receive and all that, right? Oh,
I said, wow, because I immediately thought, these people blessed. They understand the principles. They understand the law.
Right.
That's the first thing I thought. And then after that, I thought, because, sometimes I don't want to get up and do car line. I'll be like, baby, let me sleep in. I'm tired, tired. Right. But it reminded me, Hyacinth, when you give of your time, great question. You give of your time in the morning, and the parents, the students, the teachers, the administration, they're so grateful. You are blessing them, and you will always receive. And I received 2 Amazon gift cards, which I didn't know, but the universe knew I needed, because I love the Amazon.
Yes. You know, so we're talking about the importance of giving, and then you and I want to say it like this: a lot of people are wanting things. People want gimme. A lot of people want things, but we're looking at it. If you're looking at it from that angle, that point of view, you're looking at it differently. I mean, that's low hanging fruit. That's a simple way. But in life, there's always 2 things going on. You always want to say, well, it looks like this, or maybe it's that. And it really is. The game of life is always like that. So what I mean by this, what I'm saying is, if you're someone and you're saying, I'm in need. And if you are in need, your first thing you think of is going to rob somebody, or asking somebody, or begging somebody, or just gimme. You are practicing the wrong strategy. When you receiving is secondary. It's the byproduct of what came first. So in this universe that we live in, there's something called order. Gravity is order. And you want to find out, what is the order of things? What is the order, the proper order? When you get out of the proper order, you get out of alignment. You get out of, like I actually like to say, alignment, retrograde.
you know, Mercury is retrograding.
Don't go down that line. You out of sequence. You out of order. Order is the law of nature. It really is. It's order. You look at the seasons; they come in order. They don't jump each other. They're in order. So in the world of prosperity, there's order. In this, there's an order of receiving. And you can't receive first unless you're trying to break the law. But you can't break the law because it's so solid. You break yourself, and you have to pay for it when you get out of order. So the order is, you have to give. When you give, and there's different ways to give. The problem is, most of us think giving is always just monetary, cash dollars. That's not the only way to give. The rain gives water to the grass, to the lawn. The rain really gives first to the earth, and then the earth, you see the results of rain. If rain does not give, you also see the results. So giving comes first all the time. I always like to tell this story about there was this
the wood stove. I love it.
The wooden stove.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes.
Tell it to the people.
Okay, since you love it, I'll hear
you. No, I'm doing something. I'm multitasking.
Yeah, you're supposed to be paying attention. Can you put the phone down?
You tell it. Can't nobody tell it like you tell it. Gather around, boys and girls.
Yes. And
here's one of Mr. Henderson's all-time favorite stories that he loves to tell and tell.
And I want y'all to listen to the metaphor and the meaning of it. Okay. Here is this guy. This wooden stove. And this guy was so cold, but he had a wooden stove. And it was so cold outside, he thought that he could manipulate, and persuade the stove to give him heat first, and then he'll get wood, because it was freezing outside. It was cold, it was storming, it was snow, and he was in his cabin.
And he didn't want to go outside.
That's right.
To get the wood.
He didn't want to go outside to get the wood.
But he wanted something.
But he wanted heat.
So he wanted something for nothing.
Well, he didn't look at it like that. He figured he could bargain with the stove.
Just give me what you got.
Just give me some heat first, and later on, after I get warm,
I got you.
I'll go out there and I'll get the wood and give it to you.
And what the stove said?
The stove says, sir, you out of order. It don't work like that. You have got to go get that wood, put it inside the stove, and then I will give you heat. And now, as simple as that, I want you to look at your life. I want you to look at people around you. When you see somebody who's broke down, poor, broke, and disgusted,
busted and disgusted,
I want you to think about the story, what I just told you. Find me someone who don't have nothing. I find you somebody who don't give nothing.
So it's safe to say that when people don't have, it's because they haven't given.
Absolutely.
When people are in a position where they're like, I ain't got nothing, nobody doing nothing for me, nobody want. I had a friend like this years ago, and I used to tell him, I'm like, you selfish. You always complaining about somebody not doing something for you. You need somebody to help you and this and that. And I'm like, you are very, very selfish. You don't want to do anything for someone else, but you want people to do things for you.
Right.
And that's the way that a lot of people operate. So if you find yourself in a position where you're like, dang, woe is me, I can't never get ahead, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Why don't I have this? It's because you have not given. Now, here's the tricky part. The tricky part is when you are in that space of not having, if you're not careful, you can dip down and start vibrating low and start experiencing the emotions of bitterness, anger, resentment, grief, right? So that's low vibration. Picture a scale, right? It's actually a scale, Dr. David Hawkins, Google it, scale of consciousness. But when you don't have anything, you start vibrating low and start experiencing emotions such as grief, anger, jealousy, hatred, and things like that, right? And because you are vibrating at that state, you are not in a position to say, let me go and help someone else. You see how that happens? I don't have nothing. So now I'm vibrating low, and I am choosing to stay at this low vibrational state and experience these emotions. And because I'm experiencing these emotions, Mr. Henderson and Hyacinth, you're telling me that I need to give to people before I receive. Well, how am I going to give to somebody? Because I'm angry, I'm jealous, I'm fearful, I got anxiety, I'm hating on the wealthy people. You see how you can get sucked in? So what's the solution to that? Recognize I ain't got nothing. Like right now, I ain't got nothing. How do I feel about this? I'm not happy about it. And instead of not being happy about it, I'm going to make the intentional, conscious decision not to be hateful to others, not to be fearful, not to be jealous, not to fall into the vibration of grief. Instead, I'm going to recognize I have limited resources right now, but I'm grateful for what I have. Oh, you're grateful for what you have? Okay, you get to raise up a little bit. You get to come up out of that grief and raise up your vibration. Okay, you're grateful for what you have, but you would like more. Okay, then you keep raising your vibration higher and higher and higher. You got to run that tape back, because the way I said it is it may sound like a lot, but it's very impactful. The short version is, when you realize that you are at a state where you don't have your desires and you don't have what you want, by all means, by any means, do whatever you can to avoid becoming angry, bitter, depressed. Do whatever you can to fall down into those lower vibrational states, because once you're there, you're going to be fighting for your life to get out.
Or what you can do when you get like that is go and volunteer, go and give, go and help someone.
Yes, and it sounds good. We want you to do that, but you ever go to like somewhere, you be like, dang, why you angry? Why they got you in here? Well, like, so you're there physically volunteering and helping somebody, but you aren't spreading any positivity. So what you're doing is you are there physically, but energetically, you need to be on the prayer mat. you need to be at the pulpit praying for some deliverance for how you feel.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's so many different parts. Like, oh, this is such a juicy subject. I love it. Can you tell?
Yes, I can tell you go all over it.
I love it. Yeah, I like talking about stuff like this.
But then, but you're right. We're vibrating, because I came in and I just mentioned, and you're like, yeah.
Right. It took him in like, all right, I wanna rock with you.
Like, yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to give you all some like some checks and balances in terms of what to look for, and it's within you, and you can start looking around. And everybody who you look at and you say you admire, or you say, wow, they seem to be prospering, they got it going on. I promise you, if you really dig deep and look, they're doing a lot of giving. They're giving and doing a lot of giving. Now, you may look at an entertainer and say that person, prospers, but trust me, they're entertaining. That's giving. And people are coming to pay tickets to see them. When you look at Chris Rock or Kevin Hart.
Are you going to Chris Rock show in December?
Where is it?
At the Hard Rock. He got like 4 shows.
Why do you know about it?
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, so Chris Rock's my favorite comedian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll buy you some tickets
because he's very conscious
for something.
Okay,
he's
conscious.
I'll keep
He's conscious. Okay. But anyway, so
see, look at that giving. You said that's your favorite comedian. I'm like, I'm gonna buy you some tickets.
Okay. Yeah. So when you look at a comedian or whatever, people go, he's actually giving laughter. That a comedian's giving laughter, giving humorous, breaking the ice for you. You want to laugh. So that person is actually giving. That's why they get so much money, and you come out of your pocket to pay for that, and then they become wealthier and wealthier and wealthier. If you look at anybody who is serving, you look at Conrad Hilton Hotels. You need a place to stay. You know what I mean? You're like gotta get a hotel. You're on the road. Oh, there's Hilton Hotel or there's Marriott. They set up a whole business model of helping people, serving and giving. If you are down and out and you need, I'm telling you, stop. I want something. Why they got it? Why they have it? I don't have it. You need to examine the universal law of giving, and you have to do it in that order. You can't expect to get the heat from the wooden stove first. You have first got to give the stove the wood. And then when you give it the wood, the results is heat and you good. But it's always something for you to do, not for somebody to do first. You got to do it first. Here's a guy that was down and out, didn't have a job, and he had an idea. He went and started volunteering his services at a community service center. And he was so into it. He got into it. He was really helping. He see that people needed him. And man, after a little while, the supervisor offered him a job, a paying job.
Right.
He first gave, and they offered him a job. They said he was so into it. He was really helping the people that were coming through, and he was engaged in it. They actually offered him a job, paying him money. And he was like, wow, look at that. I'm telling you, I want you all, as I'm saying this, I want you to look at around you, look at yourself, and look at the principle. Now you're smiling.
So, two things. I like to smile, first of all.
Well, something in your mind.
It's something in my mind. But
before we jotted something down.
Before we get to that part, your example, because I don't want to jump off topic. The example with the person who was volunteering, and then the supervisor or the person who was at the center said, you know what, we like the way you volunteer. We're going to give you a job. What's very important is that he wasn't just doing the least when he was volunteering.
Exactly.
He was engaged. He was smiling. He liked it. He was like, so
very important.
I hate when I was just somewhere. I don't know where I was, but I strongly dislike when I go places or I hear people say that's out of my pay grade.
And like, you don't want to be there.
Right. Because I'm like, well, you ain't never going to increase your pay grade if you don't want to do the things that's technically out of your pay grade, right? Like, they don't pay me. What was I? And girls was like, they don't pay me enough for that. Child, I kept walking.
They're not going the extra mile.
They're not going the extra mile, but that's not how
universe works.
That's not the universal principle.
And that's right.
You have to be engaged. You have to do more in order to get more. And so I was smiling because I was holding this in. I was like, you know what? You said Chris Rock is your favorite comedian?
Yeah.
Oh, this Dave Chappelle is going to be.
Oh, man.
It's not Chris Rock. I was like, wait. Chris Rock? No, it's Dave Chappelle.
Okay. All right.
That's not your favorite comedian?
No.
Oh.
No. Chris Rock has always been, because he's been more conscious, he current events, he's conscious, he tell the truth, he do it in a funny way. And you're like, yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? I never forget, he was like, hey, he's rich. And he said the poorest white person wouldn't trade places with him.
Wow.
The garbage man, the janitor, and he rich. So the janitor that cleans the bathroom still feels that he's in a better place than Chris Rock because he is white, and that's, that's true.
Okay, let's get back on topic. Sorry about that. Oh, there goes that. Can't buy you those two.
So, okay, what we were saying in terms of the principle, if you're just coming in and you missed the first part of the show, what we're talking about is the principles of giving and receiving, and you have to do it in order.
Yeah.
And you don't always have to give money. Now, let's talk about the churches and stuff. Now, the churches, in terms of, you go to a church, first of all, tithing, there's a principle of tithing. You know, I used to when I was younger and I used to go to church. Mom used to make me go to church, and she would always give us some coins, something to put into the little tray when they pass it around. And then when I got an adult, you know, and I was 30 years old, you know, and I would still go to church, you know, just going. And then I started going to Universal Truth, understanding and digging deeper by the time I was 30. But by the time I was 25, let me see. Yeah, I think I became more inquisitive when I was 25. Probably when I was 21, you know, I would go to church or whatever. Then I would go in and I would put in $1.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I would put in $1. And then you know, some people was putting in, you know, $100. I couldn't understand that. You know, just couldn't understand why you get $100 in the preacher with a jerry curl on. He just, you know, you ain't learned nothing.
And the big body Benz outside.
And the big body Benz outside, and people in there poor. I just understand that.
Well, I'm giving you a
big
blue
pimpin'.
face on it, right? It don't make sense.
I can understand that. But as I grew in consciousness, and then I started learning, and then I got to a point where I would only give more to a preacher that preached a good sermon that I understood. A lot of them black, you know, it was you know that kind of talk. I'm like, what did he say? I'm like, I'm not gonna get this guy nothing. Learn nothing. Bring the choir back on. You know, I couldn't. So then I would only give more to if I go to visit somebody's church and the preacher really talked and I learned something, you know, about what happened with Joseph.
You didn't want the hooping.
No, I wasn't giving them nothing. I gave them $1. You know what I mean? So then when somebody, you know, I would go to church and I learned about Joseph or something like that and a story. Then I would say, this guy was really good. I learned something about the Bible, you know, and then I'd probably give him, you know, $20. Right? But then as I grew in consciousness and as I started growing, I started and I started growing in consciousness, started understanding giving and receiving and tithing and really what it was and what it was for. And I was really searching. So I found out that anywhere you go, I don't care where you go, and you get some blessings, you get some understanding, you grow, you get some, you go higher in consciousness, you give. If you go somewhere and it was something that was going to enhance you, or you heard something that enlightened you, that really served you well, you give because you received something that changed your life, that improved you. So you give to that because you want more of that, and you want that person to give more to other people. So you want to support that cause. You understand? So then I started getting higher in consciousness in terms of, and then it got to a point in consciousness where anywhere I went, if somebody served me, even if it was bad, even if it was bad, I didn't judge them on the badness. I still gave because that person thought that they were doing something. The service might have been not as good, but it wasn't for them. The giving was for me in terms of my system, in terms of me always giving for me to receive. And my tithing, my contributions have gotten higher. Instead of $20, they went to $100. Then they went to $500. They went to $1,000. Then they went to $10,000. Then they went to $20,000. You know what I mean? I mean, giving contributions. You know, and so now I do a lot of giving in terms of supporting good cause. And it's not so. And I don't worry about where the money going because that's not up to me. I did it in good conscience.
I feel a little something under there. I feel anyway. All
right.
No,
so
I see to come out.
Okay.
On these people worldwide well.
And I always tip. You know, I always tip when I go to a restaurant or whatever. I'm minimum. I tip 20%. Sometimes a lady's so good, I say I'm gonna give you 22%. You know, and I tell them that. And you notice every time you tip them, you give them some good tip. At the end, have a good day. They liven up when they see you give them a tip. Oh my God, yeah. So I am a giver because I do. I like to serve and I like to help people because you never know when you're helping people, it always comes back to you. You know, so we're talking about the law of giving and receiving. It's not so much just tithing, but all the way around. And you don't always have to give with money. You can give with your time. You can give just helping someone. That is a form of giving, but it comes full circle. And if you have to incorporate that in your life, if you want to have a real prosperous, beautiful, well-balanced life, you have to incorporate giving. That's why a lot of wealthy people become philanthropists, They get so much money. And they're like, oh my God, I have enough shoes and clothes and stuff. You know, the funny thing about it is the more money you get, you know, I shouldn't say for everybody. Some people don't. But I know for me, the more money I get, the less I care about material things. I still like to travel. I like to look at different stuff. But you know, I'm like, I mean, you don't want to look like a bum, but, you know, it's okay. It doesn't turn you on. You start seeking and searching for things that most people don't know they even exist. And that's dealing with the universe and dealing with just the laws, universal laws. What are you thinking? What's on your mind? Comment.
So a few things are on my mind. Thank you for asking. How do you know something's on my mind?
I just look at you. You're my daughter.
You can see it bursting at the seams.
Yeah, I just see you in there.
Being nice and patient and waiting.
Yes.
Okay, so a few things are on my mind. Let's see. So the first one was, let's talk about, because I want to drill down on this. I want to give y'all something to really like grab hold of and take with you long after this show and in experiences when you actually have the experiences. So let's talk about the example of tipping 20% or higher regardless of the service. This is very important because I want you guys to zoom out and stop thinking that the tip is contingent upon the person. The only way that you're able to tip 20% regardless of the level of service, or 20% or higher regardless of the level of service, is when you understand the principle, right? So when you understand the principle and the universal laws of giving and receiving, then you will grant the person who served you a level of grace. Because let's go back where we started talking about, sometimes you may fall into a vibrational frequency of anger, depression, fear, grief, jealousy, whatever the case may be. And we never know what the other person is experiencing. So your server could be vibrating at a lower vibrational frequency because something that could be happening that you know nothing about. Maybe their son needs a new kidney. Maybe they just buried their mom, but they still got to go to work. They can't pay for the funeral. Maybe they're about to get evicted. There's so many things that are going on that you know nothing about. And it's not our job to say, why you got a bad attitude? You need to fix your attitude. You here serving people. It's not your job. When you do that, you are too zoomed in to the mind and to egoic principles instead of zoomed out to universal principles.
And you become judge and jury and you don't know all the facts.
Correct. So when you understand, I wanted to give that to y'all. I really wanted to give. And in a way, when you only give 20% or a good tip, when you have good service, that is conditional.
Yes.
And you should not do things based on conditions. If you give me good service, I will give you a good tip.
Or if you're black, I'm going to, but if you white, I'm not.
Exactly.
That's bad.
A lot of people do that with love as well. If you do this for me, I love you long time. If you do this, then I do that. And it's like, hold on, this is not love. This is a transaction. This is manipulative. This is conditional. So
I love you until you make me mad.
Correct. Now I don't love you no more. Like, you ain't do what I thought you was gonna do. You ain't do that thing I like, and you do it every single day, and you ain't do it today. I'm out. I'm angry. Now I'm at the club or whatever the case may be. You're like, hold on, you don't even know what I had going on in that moment. Why I didn't do it? What you don't know. Maybe I was just having a moment. But see, that's conditional. And as humans, 99% of us are so used to doing things based on conditions.
Transactional, conditions.
No relationship.
Right.
You have transactional engagements. Hey, Megan. Hey, girl.
Hey, Megan. Hey, girl.
You have transactional engagements, and they're strictly conditional. And you wonder why you can't get deeper. There is no depth, right? So that's one of the things that I was thinking about. The second thing that I was thinking about is, I know that there are people who are listening to this, and you're listening and you're like, okay, Mr. Anderson, Hyacinth, this sound good. And I love when y'all on here on Wednesdays. But the reality of it is, I'm in a space, and or sometimes I drop down to a space where it's very hard for me to give. And I'm not only talking about money. Like you said, your talents, your time. It's very hard for me to give someone a hello. It's very hard for me to give someone grace. That's something so important. When I started incorporating giving other people grace, like you barking at me and I don't know what you got going on, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to still smile at you and be like, hey, I understand. I'm doing the best I can. But it's so hard for me to do that as a human. My human side be acting up. How can you help me with this? Right? You have always have to regain control of your mind. Your mind will tell you stories such as, this person is doing that because X, or I'm in this position and I'm always going to be in this position, or I'm broke. I can't afford to pay my light bill. And since I can't afford to pay my light bill, the light's going to get cut off. The kids ain't going to have Christmas, whatever the case may be, right? Or this person cut me off, whatever the stories is. I don't want to keep going down that path. But when I say you have got to regain control of your mind, you have got to intentionally say, hold up, this ain't true. I don't know if that's the case.
Yes.
I'm only looking at it. Here's the thing. Is this an absolute truth? An absolute truth is a truth that's truth not only for you, but for everybody involved all the way around. There is no, oh man, after I talked to you, I didn't know that that was the case. So, okay. Or when we're talking about money, there is no, oh man, I only have 20 cents in my bank account now, but I'm not always going to have 20 cents in my bank account. So what I'm saying to you is you have got to regain control of your mind and start directing new thoughts. And when thoughts pop up that do not serve your expansion and your evolution, start saying, that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. That's a bald-headed lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Like, you have got to literally say that. And I'm not telling you guys something that just sounds good. I'm telling you things that I have to do sometimes every day.
Well, I do too. And I was going to say, I'm going to tell you guys about two stories because Heisey, what you're saying is correct. And I want you all to what we're really saying is stop paying attention. We want you to pay attention. I want you to look at your life and look at, people around you and your loved one's life. And you want to look at the behavior and how they move. And then you want to look at your life and you want to look at the results. If you are not getting results and you got to pay attention, you got to tweak it. It's like a cook, the grits are just too salty. You can't keep telling you they're too salty. You can keep putting the same amount every day and serving them salty grits.
This is my special recipe grits. This how I make my grits.
Lady over there about to have a stroke.
This how I make my grits.
Pressure going higher.
I would make grits like this for 30 years.
Right. She laid coat of hands. I'm like, Miss Rudolph over there, every time she took grits, she got to go to the doctor.
They keep sending them grits back. And you keep making them grits the same way.
You got to tweak it. So so really what we're trying to tell you is pay attention. It's not easy, but I'm trying to tell you how to work this thing, man, how to work these universal laws. It's for each and every one of us. We got to pay attention. You can't stop just watching TV. You got to watch your life. It's much more fluid than watching TV. I'm telling you, got to pay attention. Let me give you an example how even though I'm conscious, sometimes I'm a little better now as time getting older. I'm getting older and older, and I'm watching out for the traps. I'm watching out for those traps. But I'm gonna tell you one time, this had to be about 20 years ago.
Okay.
This is about 20 years ago, and it was during the holidays, and I got invited to one of those churches that they just bring down the house. I mean, I'm talking about it could have been a movie. I mean, this guy had a Jerry curl. This guy was dressed in a purple suit and
swinging pants leg.
Oh, swinging suit on. That's swinging suits and all that. And it's quiet right there. And he was like,
You gotta bring it in and out. You gotta be like, you can't just drag it. You gotta.
I mean, it was one of them kind of churches. But I got invited to, and I went because a client invited me.
Okay.
And I went, and I took Natalie with me. Okay, my wife. I took her with me. And I was driving my Porsche. And when I pulled up to the church, I was looking for a parking spot. And I was in that Porsche, that convertible Porsche. And the man who's out there, I guess, parking cars, he said, no, you come this way. He wanted to put me up front. So that's how they do, you know what I mean? So I said, okay, I was going to park down the street or whatever. But he pulled me right in front, and I put up front, and he put me right there, that convertible Porsche. I got out, and he said, hey, how you doing? And I went inside, a few people knew, oh, that's Mr. Henderson, whatever, And then my guest, the guy who invited me, he was like, hey, come on up here, sit up front right here, right? So I went up there, and Natalie was with me, and we was in this little church. It was really Holy Ghost church. I mean, really bring down the house kind of church. You know what I mean? God is in there.
Did you catch the Holy Ghost?
Well, not yet. I catch it a different way. I kind of catch mine in private. I mean... Everybody don't catch the Holy Ghost the same.
You catching it?
Put me on the spot.
I was asking you a question.
On national TV.
On the World Wide Web. I just want to know, did you faint? Did you fall out when they laid hands on you?
I know. I did not faint. Let me tell the story.
You stepping your legs up.
Lord. Okay. Okay, so let me tell you. So y'all with me so far, right? So I go inside the church, everybody knows. They just praising. This thing is rocking, man. Man, it tear the roof off the mother. They rocking. I get in there, and I'm rocking too, man. You know what I mean? So then the guy started preaching. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh Lord, this one of them 1960, this one of them 1970 preachers. This guy, I don't know what he's saying.
Oh, he's speaking in tongues.
Oh, yes, he is. But then he got to the point and he had to do collection. So when he did
Don't
collection,
tell me you left your wallet at home.
No,
Okay.
no, he had to do collection. So he said, okay, we're gonna start off collecting. We want all the people.
Oh, I heard this before.
With $20 to come up. $20. We're trying to collect $20.
Okay.
So people got up and they, came up with $20,
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, okay, now we want the people to come up with $50. A few people came up, and then he says, I just sat. I just sat there.
You were still filled with the Spirit.
I was in awe. I was like, I ain't never seen this. People calling people out that's
Right.
there. They calling people up and they calling numbers out to come give
Praying a competition.
for the Lord,
Mhm.
tithing. And then so I'm saying, Natalie sitting up there. I'm like, oh Lord. And I said, you don't get no money. I said, oh God, I guess I done missed the 20. he on 50. I still ain't get up. I can't go back. I can't go back and say, oh, I'm on the 20.
Right.
I can't do that.
Right.
I got on my suit and stuff. So now he's saying, I want $100. Put the people $100. I'm like, oh Lord, Jesus. Few people looked around saying, Mr. Henderson, and I gets up.
Okay.
I get up, high. See, now he looked at me, and I get up and I go up there. And a few people went up there. I went up there and I had $1 in my hand.
I remember this.
But I balled the $1 up. But I still got up and I had that $1 in my hand. And I went up there in front of the church. I had it balled up and I put it in there too, right? And I put it in there and I came back to my seat and they're like, yeah, people looking. So I said, and then inside my other voice saying, boy, you're going to pay for that. you know the law. You just lied. You gonna pay for that. And I'm saying, nah, I'm not. My other side of me, two of me, he's saying, nah,
it's all right. It's all right.
That's bad. I started justifying it's bad for him to put people on the spot like that, all showboating and all that. I showed him something. Nah, man, that's bad. So fast forward after church, everybody gather. Hey, Miss Henderson. So me and Natalie, we get ready to leave. I get in my Porsche. I'm driving off.
Okay.
I drive off and I'm on the highway. We talking, me and Natalie talking. All of a sudden I'm driving that Porsche. That thing say, I said, what is going on? I look right there and I got a flat. I looked there, I said, I got a flat. I don't even know how to change the flat. Oh, God. Then I'm thinking, each tire on the Porsche costs each tire on a Porsche costs $350. And I'm saying, Lord, immediately I thought about church.
The $1.
That $1.
Instead of 100.
Instead of 100.
Right. Yeah.
And I said, Lord, and then I said, oh man, let me call the tow people because I can't change no tire. And I had to wait there for an hour for them to come and change that tire. And I said, Lord, that's what I'm saying. Pay attention to how you roll and what you do. It comes back on. So that was the first one. And that was about 20 years ago. And I learned, you don't get away. What I'm trying to say, nobody gets away. Let the church say amen.
Amen.
Nobody get away. But you got to pay attention. A lot of people don't reflect and go back. Why is this happening to me? What did I do? It's the law of giving and receiving. You're going to pay for it. And a lot of people don't reflect to say, why is this? You got to look, man. That's why you got to lead your life and you got to be good. The golden rules say, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So right now we're talking about the law of giving and receiving. I told you I had one more.
Really quick before you move on, because I hear somebody saying, well, I don't understand because you didn't have the $100, what they wanted you to do. Honest, right? So it's a deception. So if he didn't have the $100, it's okay. We're not asking him, the preacher or God or whoever wasn't asking him to miraculously make $100 appear in his pocket. He only had $1, right? So even
that's all I want to give.
Who are you?
I ain't like his service. He was hollering.
We gotta go.
Okay,
we gotta go. No. Wait a minute, I misunderstood that.
Yeah.
So you had more than $1 in your pocket? Oh, because it was 20 years ago. It's not. I'm thinking now, digital age, when we don't really have cash.
Right.
So you had Ooh, okay, flat tire.
But that's why.
All right, never mind.
That's why I had to pay for that.
But for those of you who find yourself in a position where you want to do more and you can't do more, don't lie. Like, don't lie. Just be like, I can't do more at this time. This is what I am able to do.
No,
back to you, Bob.
Bob. White people call me Bob.
Back to you, Bob. It's like a figure of speech. Whole time I'm thinking.
Okay. So
20 years.
No. That's why I'm saying what we're talking about in terms of giving and receiving. Yeah. You got to pay attention to how you roll, what you're doing. I'm telling you,
because it's gonna come back.
It always comes back.
No sense to you saying, "Why is this happening to me?"
No sense. That's right.
Right. You know what you did.
That's right. You left that restaurant and didn't pay.
Got you.
You didn't pay for that food.
Got you.
You think you got away? You did not get away.
Got you.
Just because you don't see it, don't mean it don't see you.
Gotcha.
It's always watching. You know what I mean? The invisible, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
I'm telling you, you're going to pay. Okay. So the second time that happened to me, let me tell you something. Not that. I learned from that. But here I am. I hadn't been to the beach in a while. Okay. I know you love the water.
Love it.
I hadn't been to the beach in a while. I said, Natalie, come on, let's go to the beach. Let's just go to the beach and get in the water. We live in South Florida. I ain't gotten the beach in 30 years. You know what I mean? I said, let's just go. So we get ready to go to the beach. I'm traveling on Sheridan going east. And I witness a hit and run.
Okay.
This car just bam hit this lady. And when he hit the lady, they all got out and they stopped. It was at the stoplight. When the stoplight when it changed, this guy took off. I went behind him.
Okay.
I was there. And I said, this fool just left the scene of the accident. And Natalie said, Robert, get his tag number. I said, I ain't getting ready to mess with that fool, get his tag number. I'm trying to get to the beach before the sun go down. Because, it was in the evening time. I wasn't going in the blistering hot. I already got my tan. So when I go to the beach, I want to see the water. It's almost dark. You know what I mean? So I want to get there before it's too dark, right? So I'm trying to get to the beach. The man was woo. I was coming behind. I said, I'm not getting his tag. I'm not, Natalie. She said, Robert, that's not right. You should get his tag number so you can report. He hit and ran. And the lady car messed up right there. Okay, fast forward, we get to the beach. A month later, I'm driving in my car. I'm at the stoplight. All of a sudden, this pickup truck just rear end me. I thought I was gonna wake up dead. It rear hit me. Boom! I hit that kid. Man, when I opened my eyes, I touched myself like this here. Everybody was coming out. You okay? And that fool hit me, and he was over there parked. And people started coming to me and saying, are you okay? And I said, yeah. He was over there. People went over to him. Next thing I know, that fool took off. I immediately reflected. This is what I'm saying. Pay attention to what you do. Right now, Robert Henderson Jr., I'm on God. Trust me. That's the way I lead my life. I pay attention. I'm trying to tell you, pay attention. Reflect. Whatever you're doing, what's happening in your life, pay attention. Pay attention around other people. You can see a lot of people. Sammy over there, what he was doing now, if this happened to Sammy, you like, okay, yeah. Sammy just kept taking all those pills, kept on drinking. Now he got kidney problems. I mean, you stop. Just pay attention. And you got to pay attention to your life. This is what happens. Suge over there won the lottery. He treated everybody. Janice over there, she just retired. She got drinks for everybody. It's a little bit while longer. She's gonna be back to work. Janice going back to work. Janice going back to work. Pay attention.
Right.
Don't you do that. Nobody gets away. Okay. No. So we're talking about the rules, the law of receiving, giving of your time, not always money, but just doing the right thing.
Yeah. And I want you to drill down and spend some time with this. If you journal, y'all know I'm a fan of journaling. I'm always telling people to journal and explore how you feel about giving. Just explore, just write it, explore, and then also explore how you feel about what we're sharing with you about the principles of giving and receiving, because it is my sincere wish and desire for you to not give on a surface level, but to also really understand the principles of it. Because when you understand the principle of it, it'll become second nature. I'm not saying don't let anybody take advantage of you, right? Not just, okay, I got to give all my money away. I got to give everything, because, able-bodied people should be doing able-bodied things, right? They should use their bodies to the best of their ability, do what they need to do. However, I really want you to spend some time getting to understand these principles so that you can free yourself, and then you can start to embody this. It can become a part of you. It won't be performative. That's my point. It'll just be before you're just a giver.
Yes.
And people just start understanding that, and you can be a giver and have a giving heart without ever giving a dollar or a dime.
That's very true.
You can be a giver and have a giving heart by giving a listening ear, giving advice, giving a hug, just giving, like volunteering. Do you know how many kids come to school crying in the morning and their parents just put them out? That story for a different day. But when they get out of the car and they're crying, before I done stop the whole car line, I'm hugging them. It's okay, baby. That kind of stuff. And it just comes kind of second nature. So when you say giving of your heart, giving of your time, you have to really spend some time drilling down on what it means to be a giver and what it means to receive. And then also ask yourself, why aren't you a giver? Why do you have problems with giving?
Yeah.
Can you trace this back to the last time you gave somebody something and they did this and you thought that? Did you conditionally give with the expectation that because you gave, you were going to receive? Because here's the thing about it. The law is the law. You don't have to tell the law what to do.
No.
Which means you don't have to use your words to say, I gave, so I'm expecting to receive.
It knows all.
It knows all.
It knows what you're thinking.
Yeah, you can't be in that space until you do the work to get deep. And like I said, that's why I like journaling, because your mind just let that pen just go, baby. It
is impossible to give and not receive.
Yeah, it just happens.
I'm telling you, it is impossible to give and not receive. If you want to receive, you got to go in order. You got to give. You have to give. You have to give love. You have to give just helping, serving. You have to serve. Serving is giving. And you'll be surprised, man. And when you give, don't look for the person you gave to give you your reward. No, the universe empowers you. You'll be surprised when you at a restaurant and you give a good tip. You say, "Girl, I gave you a good tip. I want you back. You owe me more. Give me more food.
Give me some, right. Give me a lobster on the side. Throw extra lobster in the bag."
Right? No, it's not conditional. You giving. When you giving because like I said, it's impossible. And what happens is when you help someone, the universe knows that. And it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, maybe next year. And you might be in a jam or a situation. And all of a sudden you got out of that jam and you wondering why, how, oh my God. No, it was not luck. You made a deposit of giving. You don't know when you're gonna receive it back and how you're gonna receive it back. But I promise you, it's no fluke. This is no hocus pocus. We live by this. That's why at the Henderson Financial Group, what we practice is giving. We know that it's impossible to enrich ourselves before first enriching you. So we give you, we help you, we tell you, we show you. We're not playing. We have a lot of experience. I've been doing this over 30 years, and we can talk and help you in all aspects of your financial life. Heisey is into a whole lot of coaching. And on a Wednesday, we talk about the mental aspect of your financial life, of your whole life, holistic life. Wednesday, transitions. This is what this show is about, for you to think, because everything starts with a thought and you have to follow it up by actions.
Empowerment Corner says, good afternoon. Totally agree with the concept of giving and the golden rule, do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. This is very important. Thank you for sharing that, because the golden rule is to do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. People mistake that, do unto others as they have done unto you. No. So you're thinking, you read that and you're like, okay, I'm gonna only do how you do me. I'm gonna do you how you do me.
No, you don't never want to become what you hate.
Yeah. And you can't match energy, and you can't hold back. Well, I'm only going to give because you have only given me this.
No.
So when the golden rule says do unto others as you would like them to do, how would you like to be treated? How would you like somebody to think about you? How would you want to be treated? Treat people that way with the understanding that it's not conditional. And when you understand that it's not conditional, that means even if they don't treat you the way you treated them, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Something that came to me earlier today was God is your one true only source. It doesn't matter who it comes from. So that means if I set the desire and the intention out there, I don't care if you give it to me, that person give it to me. If you don't give it to me, I'm not mad with you. If you don't do right, I'm not mad with you because I've already gone to God. I already told God what I want. Like this is, and I believe that everything is moving and working in my highest good according to God's plan. And that's important because sometimes we'll ask for things or we'll have desires and then we will limit God by saying it must come through this person. Oh, this person didn't do this for me. This person didn't.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. So you got to take some pressure off of people and then connect with the source, right? Like, okay, all right, you acting like that. That's cool. Because I know I'm gonna be good anyway. Like Mr. Henderson said, I literally look at it like credits. How many credits? I'm always depositing good credits. So I'm never worried, right?
Right.
I'm not like, oh, why would I be out here? I'm overflowing in credits. You know what I mean? So okay, I can feel you, NG. Like you ready?
I gotta go. I got some appointments.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
You can just talk already.
Well, we're not gonna be here next Wednesday. I was trying to talk enough for today and next Wednesday.
Oh, you did it. They full. You can always go back and listen to this again next Wednesday. Heisey gonna be at a train, out of town. All right, cool. So tell them what's coming up. I'm gonna be here Saturday, so talk about that.
Is it gonna be cold on Saturday?
I don't know. I know. I don't know if it's gonna be cold on Christmas. Heisey, come on, you're tripping. Come on. 305-825-1444. You can always go to our website, www.hendersonfinancialgroup.com. www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. We have a plethora of information on there for you. You would love it. You can really engage in it, and you can also fill out some forms and contact us, and we'll be happy to do a private consultation with you over Zoom, over a conference call, any way how you want it. But you got to take the step. You got to take action. You got to be able to ask, seek, and knock. You knock on our door, I'm telling you, we're going to answer. Mm-hmm. All right. And everything is confidential. We are fiduciaries. We got your back. Heisey?
You did a wonderful job. What he said. What he said. That's it.
It's time to go,
and that's all. So tune in Saturday morning at 9 a.m. in the AM for the Understanding Money Show. Next Wednesday, I will be out, so we won't be here next Wednesday, but we will be back next Saturday. He will be back next Saturday. Also, I dropped a new podcast episode, the Hyacinth Henderson Podcast. Be sure to listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. That is Apple, Spotify, wherever. And my inbox is full. And no matter how many times I delete stuff, it keeps getting full. So if you have emailed me in the past 2 days, try to email me again. I got to get a new email address.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Love you. Enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.